Mm-hmm. 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 Polished chrome on a dusty road, a velvet heart with a heavy load. I'm wearing silk to hide the scars, counting sins under desert stars. I talk like a king, but I bleed like a man, building empires out of shifting sand. I got the world in the palm of my hand, but I'm shaking, yeah, I'm shaking. The city lights look like falling sparks. I'm a gentleman dancing in the dark. They see the power, they see the throne, but they don't see me sitting here alone. It's that broken energy, a lightning bolt that's lost the sea. I'm a loaded gun with a rusted key, burning bright for the ghost of a weed. I got the gold, I got the green, but you were the only thing I'd ever need. Yeah, it's a heavy crown, it's a killing spree, living on this broken energy. Ooh. The smoke in your hair, the way you breathe in the midnight air. I was the shadow, you were the flame. Now I'm just a man with a dangerous name. I clean the blood off my cufflink stones, but I can't wash the cold out of my bones. A movie ending that no one saw, breaking the heart to keep the law. And they call me torn apart. They fear the muscle, but they forgot the heart. I trade the empire, the black car, the pride, for one more minute with you by my side. God, I'm powerful, but I'm empty inside. It's that broken energy, a lightning bolt that's lost the sea. I'm a loaded gun with a rusted key, burning bright for the ghost of a weed. I got the gold, I got the greed, but you were the only thing I'd ever need. Yeah, it's a heavy crown, it's a killing spree, living on this broken energy. Check the watch, it's 1:30 gone. A gentleman waits for a gray blue dawn. Shadows long, power strong, but the spark is broken. NpRom is cold, the desert's turning gray. I wash the sins of the city off my hands today. You're just my tire in the cracked rearview glass, watching the ghosts of the syndicate pass. I'm a suit and a shadow, a wolf in a vest, with a crown of thorns buried deep in my chest. I played the gentleman while the world went red. Now I'm counting the bullets and the words we never said. The highway's a river of velvet and oil. My blood is a river starting to boil. I'm 1 mile away from the point of no return, lighting a cigarette just to watch it burn. It's a midnight shutdown, baby. Turn out the light. The king is retiring and into the night. I'm powerful, broken, a ghost on the run. The heaviest weight is a loaded gun. I loved you like a kingdom I was born to lose. Now I'm bleeding out rhythm to the dark desert blues. One last gear, one last spark, then I'm shutting it down in the dark. I kept you in a mansion made of glass and bright, while I kept the monsters tucked deep inside. A gangster's devotion is a beautiful curse. I promised you heaven, but I built you a hearse. Don't look at the cuffing, don't look at the stain. A gentleman never explains his pain. I'm leaving the keys on the dashboard for you. It's the only honest thing I knew how to do. The shadows are singing a mile behind, but you're the only memory I've got on my mind. I'm the hero of the gutter, the saint of the street, tasting the victory in a total defeat. Forgive me, darling. The engine's gotta stop. the sound of a match striking, a deep, raspy exhale. A slow, thumping kick drum starts like a heartbeat. A distorted, reverb heavy guitar slides in, low and mean. And lead in my chest, a silk line coffin for a heart that won't rest. I wipe the chrome clean, I straighten the tie, but there's a desperate hunger in the back of my eye. The city is screaming, but I don't hear a sound, just the weight of the shadows following me around. I'm the king of the gutter, a saint in the mud, counting my blessings in teardrops and blood. And my hands are steady, though my spirit is thin. I'm wearing the armor, but I'm losing the skin. The bourbon is cold, and the night is a ghost. I'm the man who has everything and nothing to boast. It's a calm exhaustion, a beautiful lake, a heart full of glass that refused to break. I'm powerful, darling, but I'm ready to fall in the quietest corner of this gilded hall. It's a gentleman's party, the gangster's goodbye, a love like a fever under a pitch black sky. Yeah, I'm standing tall in the pouring rain with a calm exhaustion and a holy stain. I remember your face like a prayer I forgot, in a basement in Vegas or a back alley lot. You were the mercy I didn't deserve, the only thing straight on a life full of curve. I killed for the throne, I bled for the name, but I burned down the empire just to escape the game. I'm a wolf in a tuxedo, a ghost in a suit, feeding the branches but poisoning the root. Don't call it weakness, don't call it defeat. It takes a hell of a man to stay this sweet when the world is a hammer and you're just a nail, when you're writing an epic that's destined to fail. I'm tired of the trigger, I'm tired of the gold. I just want a story that doesn't grow cold. feet. It takes a hell of a man to stay this sweet when the world is ahead. You're just the nail when you're riding a happy that's destined to fail. I'm tired of the trigger. I'm tired of the goal. I just want a story that doesn't grow cold. I'm so tired of being the mountain. Let me be the valley for a while. Calm, exhausted. Keep my shoes shine and my secrets in a lead line box. Silk lining in the vest, hiding where the hammer locks. I've walked through the fire without singeing a thread. The kind of man who commands the living and respects the dead. But tonight the bourbon tastes like rust and dry rain, and there's a silhouette dancing in the window of my brain. I used to rule the shadows, I used to own the night, until you stepped out of the dark and into my brain. Gave you the keys to the kingdom I built on bone. I traded my crown just to not be alone. But the tax on your heart was a debt I couldn't pay. Now I'm watching my empire just crumble away. Oh, love took too much. It took the iron from my blood and the gold from my touch. I was a king in the gutter, saint in the dust, but I traded my honor for a fever of lust. Now the chamber is empty and the engine won't clutch. God help me, love took too much. Yeah, she took too much. I remember the day the moon was a silver blade. We were running from ghosts in a car that we hadn't paid. You look like a movie, a Nora queen in lace, while I had the blood of a city all over my face. I told you I'd kill for you and And baby, I did, but you wanted the man, not the monster I hid. Now I'm standing in the rain in a $1,000 suit, with a hole in my chest and a bit of black fruit. They say a gentleman never shows his hand, but I'm screaming your name across this God-forsaken land. I conquered the streets, I broke every rule, only to end up a broken-hearted, powerful fool. Take the money, take the power, take the key to stop this ghost from bringing me to my knees. Took the iron from my blood and the gold from my touch. I was a king in the gutter, saint in the dust, but I traded my honor for a fever of lust. Now the chamber is empty and the engine won't clutch. God help me, love took too much. Check the measure, the balance is zero. The villain is crying, he wanted to be your hero. Love took too much. Too much. Too much. Too much. Too much. The desert don't apologize for the heat it keeps, and I don't ask for pardon for the secrets in my teeth. I've got silver in my pocket, but lead inside my chest. A gentleman's tuxedo for a soul that cannot rest. The asphalt's humming stories of the men I used to be, before the weight of the empire started leaning hard on me. I'm a king of broken glass, I'm a saint of hollow halls, tracing every crack that's forming on these velvet walls. Power is a fever, it's a cold and lonely high. I've got the world in my hands, but the sun is leaving the sky, and I'm just tired. It's a quiet fatigue, it's a heavy kind of grace, looking for your ghost in every neon lighted place. I'm a gangster for the lonely, I'm a lover in the rain, with 1,000 miles of thunder running through my veins. I feel powerful enough to stop the world in its tracks, but I'm too weak to keep the shadows off my back. Yeah, it's love, it's blood, it's the price I have to pay for this quiet fatigue at the end of the day. You were the only rhythm that my jagged heart could keep, the only prayer I whispered when the city was asleep. I straightened out my collar, I kept my knuckles clean, trying to be the hero in a North-stained movie scene. But the smoke is getting thicker and the bourbon's losing taste. I built cathedral just to watch it go to waste. I'm powerful, baby. Yeah, they fear the name I hold, but my throne is getting heavy and my bed is getting cold. Throw the keys in the dirt, let the engine scream. I'm the king of the nightmare, you were the dream. I trade the iron and the gold and the pride just to have one more second with you by my side. But the road keeps winding through the sand and the bone, and the man of my stature always dies alone. It's a heavy kind of grace, looking for your ghost in every neon lighted place. I'm a gangster for the lonely, I'm a lover in the rain, with 1,000 miles of thunder running through my veins. I feel powerful enough to stop the world in its tracks, but I'm too weak to keep the shadows off my back. Yeah, it's love, it's blood, it's the price I have to pay for this quiet fatigue at the end of the day. Adrenaline bows out when the lights go dim. I've got the power, but I'm giving it back to him. Just a quiet fatigue, so quiet. Sleep now, gangster. The war is over. I got silver in my pocket, lead in my spine. Built a kingdom of shadows on a very thin line. The velvet on my collar is stained with a praise. I'm a gentleman, darling, built to outlast. But the city is screaming, it's clawing my skin. Where the prayers of the saints meet the roar of the sin. I bought every secret, I sold every soul, but the noise in my head is taking its toll. The sirens are singing a song I once knew, of blood on the asphalt and visions of you. I'm holding the trigger, I'm wearing the crown, but the weight of the gold is just pulling me down. And I needed silence more than I needed the breath in my chest. A ghost in the desert, just looking for rest. I traded the thunder, I traded the gold for a piece of the quiet that nobody sold. Yeah, I needed silence to hear your heart break, to count every promise I didn't quite make. Now the wind is the only thing calling my name, in a world without echoes, in a world without shame. You were the white dress in a room full of black, the one piece of it I can't host it back. I gave you a palace, I gave you the keys, but I couldn't stop the rattling of my own knees. They call me a king, they bow to the suit, but the tree is all rotted despite all the fruit. I drove through the border where the sand meets the sky to watch the last glimmer of my empire die. There's a power in letting the fire go cold. There's a grit in stories that never get told. I'm a wolf in a tuxedo, a ghost in the rain, finding the beauty in absolute pain. Let the vultures circle, let the engines hum. I'm finally deaf, and I'm finally chest, a ghost in the desert, just looking for rest. I traded the thunder, I traded the gold for a piece of the quiet that nobody sold. Yeah, I needed silence to hear your heart break, to count every promise I didn't quite make. Now the wind is the only thing calling my name, in a world without echo, in a world without shame. The engines are, sun is low. I loved you, baby, but I had to go. Just silence. Nothing but the dust. Oh. I've got silver in my beard, lit in my skin, a gentleman's suit for a lifetime of sin. The desert wind tastes like copper and dust. In a world made of chrome, I'm the only thing trust. I walk through the fire with a rose in my hand, a king with no crown in a godless land. My knuckles are scarred from the debts that I paid, but I still hold the door for the ghost we've made. The shadows are long and the neon is dim. The cup of this life is filled to the brim. I'm leaning on walls that I used to tear down, just a weary old wolf in a neon town. Oh, I'm tired, God, I'm tired, but don't you think for a second I'm heartless. I've seen the dark, I've felt the fire, I've carried your love through the cold and the sadness. I'm a gangster of grace, a shadow in silk. I've traded the blood for the honey and milk. My eyes might be heavy, my spirit is scarred, but I'm still holding on, even when it gets hard. Yeah, I'm tired, but I'm never heartless. I remember the way that you looked in the rain, before I was still, before I was pain. I built you a kingdom on secrets and bone. I'd rather be cursed than to leave you alone. The boys in the alley, they whisper my name. They don't know the man, they just know the game. But you know the heartbeat beneath the lookout, the part of my soul that survived through the hill. One last cigarette, one last drive, just trying to feel like I'm truly alive. The barrels are cold, but the engine is hot. I'm giving you everything, everything I've got. Everything I've got. I may be a monster in a Sunday best, but I'm laying my heavy head down on your chest. But don't you think for a second I'm heartless. seen the dark, I felt the fire. I carried your love through the cold and the darkness. I'm a gangster of grace, a shadow in silk. I traded the blood for the honey and milk. My eyes might be heavy, my spirit is scarred, but I'm still holding on, even when it gets hard. Yeah, I'm tired, but I'm never heartless. Now heartless, just a little bit warm, a gentleman's promise in the eye of a storm. Silk tie, knotted tight, knuckle splitting red. Counting all the ghosts living in my head. The whiskey's high shelf, chrome is cold and clean. I'm the finest monster that you've ever seen. I got a kingdom built on secrets and on smoke. But my heart's a heavy chain and every link is broke. I play the gentleman, I play the part so well, polishing my shoes on the burning floor of hell. They see the shadow, they don't see the man with blood on his shirt and a ring on his hand. I'm powerful enough to make the city bleed, but I'm starving for the only thing I'll ever need. I'm still caring, and it's killing me slow. 100 miles of desert with nowhere to go. I'm a king in a suit, I'm a wolf in the dark, but I'm still keeping rhythm with your fading spark. Yeah, the world thinks I'm hollow, a stone cold machine, but I'm still caring for the ghost of what we've been. desert's wide and the moon is ablaze, paying for the choices that we already made. I burn this whole empire, tear down the sky, just to be the man who didn't have to say goodbye. I'm powerful, I'm dangerous, I'm everything they hate, but I'm just a little boy standing at your bed. Caring for the ghost of what we've been. Still caring. Still caring. Still caring. I got the power to end the world tonight, but I'd give it all up just to see your porch light. Still caring. Polished chrome and a suit of black silk. I drank the venom while they gave you the milk. I've walked through fire with a gentleman's grace, but I see the graveyard when I look at my face. My knuckles are scarred under these leather gloves. The price of the war yours and the cost of our loves. I built you a kingdom on a foundation of bone. Now I'm sitting here shivering on a velvet throne. The city's screaming, but I'm turning it down. I'm tired of wearing this heavy-weighted crown. There's blood on the roses I bought for your room, and the scent of the desert is the scent of our doom. And I've got no strength left to hold up the sky. I've run out of breath, and I've run out of lies. I fought like a giant, I stood like a wall, but even the tallest of shadows must fall. I'm a king in the darkness, a ghost in the light, but I've got no strength left to finish this fight. No, I've got no strength left for us tonight. The engine is humming in the pouring rain, a cigarette burning to dull out the pain. You were the saint in my city of thieves, the only one left that this sinner believes. I'd kill for you, darling, I've done it before, but I can't find the key to that final closed door. My hands are so heavy, they're shaking like leaves, as the ghost of the man I was finally departs and grieves. The sirens are fading in the rearview glass, watching the ghost of our memories pass. There's wine on the table, but the bottle is dry, like the well of the tears that I can't even cry. 'Cause I've got no strength left to hold up the sky. I've run out of breath, and I've run out of lies. I fought like a giant, I stood like a wall, but even the tallest of shadows must fall. I'm a king in the darkness, a ghost in the light, but I've got no strength left to finish this fight. No, I've got no strength left. I'm a gentleman, baby, until the very end, but the heart is a metal that started to bend. I carry the world so you wouldn't feel the weight, but I'm just a man and it's getting so late. Yeah, it's getting so late. I got $100 habit and $1,000 suit, in a heart buried somewhere under Georgia suit. I play the hand I'm dealt with a predator's smile, but I haven't seen the light in a country mile. My knuckles are bruised from the debts I collect, in a world that only pays in fear and respect. I'm the king of the shadows, the lord of the grind, but I'm running out of breath and I'm running out of time. The neon is flickering, the whiskey is cheap. I've got promises to break and secrets to keep, but the gentleman in me is starting to crack, looking for a road that'll lead me back. And I'm worn down like a blade in the rain, a king in a kingdom built out of pain. Yeah, I'm powerful, baby, I've got the world in my grip, but I'm watching the ghost of your love start to slip. I'm a polished stone, I'm a loaded gun, I'm the man who's got everything and nowhere to run. Just a shadow in the desert, a soul on the ground. God help the gentleman when he's finally worn down. You were the only saint in this den of thieves, the only summer branch in a forest of dead leaves. I kept you in the dark to keep you away from the heat, but now I'm just a ghost walking down your street. I've got gold on my fingers and blood on my sleeve, giving you reasons to never believe. I could burn down the city just to see where you stood, but being powerful, darling, never felt this good. No, it never felt this hollow. The desert is calling, its skies turning red. I'm counting the ghosts that live under my bed. The cigar smoke is thick, the silence is loud. I'm just a lonely man in a very loud crowd. And I'm worn down like a blade in the rain, a king in a kingdom built out of pain. Yeah, I'm powerful, baby, I've got the world in my grip, but I'm watching the ghost of your love start to slip. I'm a polished stone, I'm a loaded gun, I'm the man who's got everything and nowhere to run. Just a shadow in the desert, a soul on the ground. God help the gentleman when he's finally worn down. I've got the power to make them bleed, but I don't have the strength to give you what you I'll go out swinging. That's what it's about. The engine is humming, the highway is wide. There's nowhere for a powerful man to hide. Yeah, I'm worn down. Yeah, I'm worn down. Yeah, I'm worn down. I pour my sins in a crystal glass, watch the ghosts of the syndicate pass. Silk tied tight like a hangman's knot. I'm the king of a kingdom that time forgot. I've got blood on the cuff of a tailored sleeve, and a heart so heavy it's hard to breathe. I played the gentleman, I played the beast, but the hunger in me never found a feast. The city's a predator, the night is a cage. I'm just a man on a darkening stage. They call me a titan, they call me a god, but I'm just a ghost on the path that I've trod. Oh, let the iron go cold in my hand. I'm a weary soldier in a hollow land. It's the weight of the crown, it's the price of the pride, it's the million secrets I'm forced to hide. I'm powerful, yeah, but I'm falling apart with a gangster's grit and a broken heart. Call it a melody, call it a wrong. This is my fatigue song. I remember the way your perfume smelled before the hammer fell and the shadows swelled. I could have been a simple man, a lover, a friend, instead of a shadow that waits at the end. I bought you diamonds with the devil's gold, but I couldn't buy back the soul I sold. Now I'm the iron gold cold in my hand. I'm a weary soldier in a hollow land. It's the weight of the crown, it's the price of the pride, it's the million secrets I'm forced to hide. I'm powerful, yeah, but I'm falling apart with a gangster's grit and a broken heart. Call it a melody, call it a wrong. This is my fatigue song. Tired of the whispers, tired of the lead, tired of the voices inside of my head. I trade all the ivory, the silk and the stone, just to feel like a man who is coming back home. But there is no home for a man like me. A gentleman gangster forever known. So tired, so heavy. This is my fatigue song.